Hi, I'm Gary Ryan and welcome to another episode of the Beyond Being Good video series. This episode is titled The Power of Self-Talk. When I teach people what I'm about to teach you with these two quick models, I teach them how to juggle. Now imagine if I was about to teach you how to juggle, what would be the first words that would come into your mind? Now this is both for adults and children alike. When I ask that question, people say things like, "Oh, fantastic, that's great." Other people go, "Oh no, oh my God, I can't do that. There's no way I'm going to do that. I don't want to do this." It's the sort of self-talk that I hear. Now, with this model, it's very, very simple. The self-talk that we have inside our heads whenever we want to do something that's important. I'm not suggesting juggling is important, because for most people it's not. But when there's things like doing a public presentation or a speech, or you've got a report to write, or you've got a new job and a new opportunity to go for, your self-talk can have a huge impact on your success or failure. So let's see how this works. Your self-talk creates an image in your mind of success or failure, or of other things that we'll talk about as we go through this. That then has a direct impact on your performance. If you have self-talk that you can't do something, I'm uncoordinated, I can't juggle, and that's the image that you have of yourself of failing because you're uncoordinated, when you do have a go at it, you'll probably be uncoordinated to start with, and you'll drop the juggling balls. And as a result of that, you'll say to yourself, "See, I knew I couldn't do it," and it becomes a reinforcing vicious cycle. Now the difference with the way that I teach this model than other people do, with self-talk I don't suggest that you should say that I'm going to be the best juggler in the world. Because A, that might not be relevant, and B, it might not really matter. If you might not need to be the best juggler in the world, and you'll also know yourself when you're saying something to yourself with your self-talk that's too unreal, it's just not realistic. So instead I encourage people to say self-talk such as, "I will be the best juggler that I can be today." Now what that creates here in your self-image is an image of a learner, a person who's trying to get better. Not being the best in the world, not being the worst in the world, certainly not being uncoordinated. Someone who I will be the best that I can be today. So then in terms of your performance, as you're trying to learn and follow the rules and principles, you would understand that you're going to make some mistakes, and those mistakes now aren't the end of the world anymore. They're okay, and I start to notice that I'm picking up some of the technique, I'm improving over time. And see, I can learn this, I can improve. It's a much more powerful way. So I will be the best public speaker that I can be today. I will be the best person going for this interview that I can be today. Now, I'm not suggesting that all we should do is self-talk, because there's a second model that works together with this one. So over here, we've got our self-talk. We've recognised we want to have positive self-talk, because negative self-talk is just as powerful as positive self-talk, but we want to have realistic positive self-talk that's about seeing yourself as a learner, someone improving, okay, being the best that you can be today. But if all we've got is self-talk, all we're going to end up being is a dreamer. So we actually have to do the work. If it was about juggling, you've got to juggle the juggling balls. You've got to get in and do the work. However, the work can't just be any work. There's no point in doing work that's the incorrect work, trying to learn how to juggle, following the wrong principles, for example. You've got to know the right technique. And that's where the last part of this second model kicks in. We need to know what we need to focus on. So we need to know the principles for public speaking. We've got to understand what are those 7 effective principles and how can I use them to my advantage. And when we're doing it, so I will be the best I can be at public speaking today, I'm going to do the work, and I'm going to do work that's focusing on the techniques that I need to do. And when you find that you do that, whether you've got one person watching or 1,000 people watching, it's amazing how you can get the job done and truly be, in your performance, the best person that you can be today. The power of self-talk is unbelievably high. Your job is to harness it and use it to your advantage as you're trying to create more success in your life. Once again, I'm Gary Ryan, and I look forward to working with you next time.